Where I fail in day trading. What are my demons? When I first started trading, I started trading with live funds and I blew, well, no, I made a couple thousands. I made a few thousands, but I blew them because I had issues. And currently, I still have a couple issues that I need to work on. One of them being lust. Um, I give into my urges way too easily. I say I won't do it, and I end up doing it. How then can I trust myself not to chase price or even sit out and wait for a setup? I feel shame after lusting, and I try to cover that shame by getting into the market. After a loss, I try to relieve that frustration by lusting. When I go a couple of days without lusting, I unconsciously, or sometimes on purpose, try to lose and get frustrated on purpose so I can have an excuse to lust. This is one of those issues that will wreck me mentally and financially because I have such an attachment to lusting. I want to do it and I'm willing to do anything just so I could get this good feeling. Or on the other side of that coin is if I don't get that, if I don't get this, I'll try to get it from the market. And that usually looks like going double the amount of contracts I would normally do. And the worst part is if I over leverage and I fail, then I wasn't really trying, I was over leveraging. But if I over leverage and it hits my take profit, then I will consider it as skill and I will consider it as a sign from God that I should keep on doing this. These are my demons. Not at the moment. I've been actually working on this, and I've been doing a whole lot better. I've gone a week, 2 weeks without lusting. Self-identity issues. I have felt like I owe it to people around me to become something great. I want to be it. I want to become a trader so people around me can have something to be proud of. I seek outward approval from others, and that prevents me from taking on real challenges, because if I fail, then I won't get that pat on the back. Therefore, when I'm faced with real challenges, I will self-destruct because it's not really failing if I crash out on purpose. That was a big one. This was hard to admit because I didn't want to admit that, but yes, if I can't get something quick and something's just way too hard for me to understand, I will self-destruct because I don't want other people knowing or finding out that I couldn't do something because I have identity issues. I want my self-worth and my self-worth literally comes from other people. Well, it has came from other people. I'm improving on these, and some of the things I have improved on. I'm just bringing them up to light. So if you're struggling with these, if it's hard for you to admit this one, then you should know that other people are going through the same thing. I personally wanted that pat in the back. I want to hear oh, you're a day trader. You're gonna become rich. You're gonna make a lot of money. You should keep on doing that. And that's what I was looking for in the beginning, but nobody cared. Nobody gave a fuck. Everybody was like, what is that? Oh, that's cool. Nobody really gave a fuck about me telling them I want to be a day trader. And the way it's affected my trading has been always seeking a trade that would impress others, either in my personal life or in social media. You know, if it's, let's say I see a setup that's 12 handles, I'm not taking it. I want a setup that's 50 handles. I want to get the daily range so that I could boast about it on social media, and so then people could look at me and say, wow, he really did it. He could do it. Nobody else could do it like him. I want to hear that. I don't really want to categorize myself as, oh, look at me, I'm so broken, I have all these issues, because they're issues, they're things that could be resolved, and I've resolved them. I'm slowly resolving these by journaling. Journaling has helped me a lot. Another issue would be trauma. I have trauma. When I get into the market, the anxiety that arises in me causes trauma flashbacks, and those trauma flashbacks cause me to dissociate. Like right now, I have a lot of anxiety and I dissociate. Right now, I'm dissociating, and I happens in the market. And when you're trading, you have to be locked in. You have to be dialed in. If you're not dialed in, you're gonna miss a move, or you're gonna miss something that will tell you not to get in. Even when I'm outside the market, I can get a flashback, and that flashback can cause me to get in because I feel attacked. And the only threat I have is the charts in front of me, so I ante up and go all in. When I get a flashback, from some trauma, it causes me to want to attack the market because the trauma flashback is triggering my fight or flight responses. And the only thing in front of me when I'm trading is the market, and the only thing I can do is get in and attack. And this has nothing to do with charts. This has nothing to do with price. It has nothing to do with time. This is all up here. And when up here is not aligned, if up here doesn't know what's going on, it can't situate itself to say, hey, you know you're getting a flashback, you know you're getting anxiety, you know you feel nervous. How about you take a break, come back once you feel more relaxed? Because you know when you feel like this, you tend to get in because you feel like you have to. I feel like I need to run when I get anxiety. I feel like I just need to punch something. I need to go quick. And that transforms itself into getting into the market with a lot of leverage. And again, if I do a lot of leverage and I take a loss, I wasn't really trying. I was purposely just dicking around. But if I take a win, I'm gonna consider myself a G, you know? And another big one is ex-girlfriend. I want her back, and if I can just become rich, she'll want me back, and she'll never leave again. This leads to emotional trading. Measuring up with the new guy she's with has led me to go heavy in every trade, which only manifests bigger losses. Relationships. It affects you. You know, I wish I didn't put ex-girlfriend. Let's put well, relationships. But when I was trading with live funds, I just got out of a breakup, and I felt worthless, and I felt like I have to make a lot of money to either win her back or make her regret for leaving me. And the whole time when I felt like that, I was just rushing through learning how to trade. I was rushing it. I was thinking I must be now. I must have it now. Before this year, before next year, because if I don't get it now, she won't see how great I am. She won't regret it. She won't see that she missed out on me. And that cost me a lot of emotional trading. It cost a lot of sleepless nights. I would say that I wasn't afraid of not succeeding. I was afraid of having to admit that I'm wrong. Admit that, yeah, I'm not that great. I am a complete loser. But admitting that helped me get over the fact that I don't need her back. I don't want her back, and it's in the past. I don't care who she is with. I'm here with myself, and I love who I am and what I bring to the table, which leads back to the self identity issues, where I thought this person, right, ex girlfriend, left me, so that means something about me is wrong. And if there's something wrong with me, then not just her, she's just not gonna leave me. The other one's gonna leave me, and the next one's gonna leave me, and the next one, because of my self-identity issues. Too much pride, not enough humility. This one's big. I don't even think I'm gonna get to all of them. You could pause the video and read them all, but I am very prideful, and I do not have humility. I'm working on this at the moment. This one is a big one that I haven't overcome yet. I want my friends, family, and coworkers to glad hand me for being a day trader. That's all it's always been. I like the title. I like the name. I like what it comes with that name. It comes with rebellion. It comes with moving in your own direction, you know? When I tell people I want to be a day trader, it turns me on. I think, holy shit, they're gonna look at me and be like, "Oh, he's not like us. He's different. He's taking on risk. He is a mover. He's a shaker." And all that does is it takes away the attention from this and puts it all on the money. It puts it all on the material aspects of being a day trader, and even on social media as well. It puts it on, who can I convince that I am special? And again, it goes all back to self identity, because I'm looking for external approval rather than the approval internally. I can't bear to admit I don't know something, and that prevents me from getting off the charts when I need to, because it's not everyday trading. What I mean by this is, because I have too much pride, when I'm studying, when I'm doing back testing, and something just isn't adding up and something doesn't make sense, I can't say I don't know, because if I say I don't know, then that means I am imperfect. I am flawed, and that hurts my pride to admit. Doing this video is hurting my pride. That's why I'm making it. I lie to myself that I don't need chart time, because if I backtest and I can't make it work, that means I'm wrong, and I can't not know, because I told everyone I would be a millionaire by now. That is true. I don't allow myself to learn, because learning means I don't know yet. Not knowing yet means I'm not getting closer to my goal, becoming a millionaire. But the real goal was everybody knowing that I'm a millionaire. The mindset change here is, I don't need people to know how much I have or know what I could do in the market. What I need is to solve these issues so that I can start actually making money. And if I make money, then I should be content with what I've been able to accomplish. I avoid reaching out to mentors for help, because then when I become rich and famous, they are going to say they made me. Again, I said this ironic, well, not really, because that was my mindset. Rich and famous. Who says I'm becoming rich and famous? The mindset change that I'm having is, I need to be more humble. I need to stop thinking so highly of myself, and literally be grounded to earth. I'm like a blimp. My head's a blimp. I'm way too up in the sky. I need to ground myself and think rationally and be like, you know what, I need help. I'm not that great. Avoiding getting out of my comfort zone, because then if I try taking on challenges, the bubble I've built around myself will be popped. And that bubble is the people around me. If I can't get out of my comfort zone and I make a fool of myself, or even worse, I fail, people are going to see it. People are going to judge, and people are going to say, he's not that great. Wow, he actually fails. He's not that good at, and that stops me from actually growing. I focus too much on the image of being a day trader than actually putting in the work to become one. Thinking it's all owed to me, it should be fast and easy because I showed up. Thinking it's owed to me because I showed up was a big one. I've been taught by ICT. I've been taught by ICT, and I would watch his videos, but I wouldn't actually listen to what he was teaching. I wouldn't actually hear his tips. I wouldn't actually go and look at it in my own charts. I would just show up. And because I showed up, in my mind, I said, well, I watched the 2 hour video on double the speed, and I took 1 or 2 notes. I should have this by now. It's owed to me. I sat through that 2 hour video, and that never got me anywhere. Pride has blinded me from believing I need to gain experience before I can identify the right opportunities. It goes back to this one. I showed up. Showing up, you gotta show up every day, and you gotta put in some work. So then you could gain experience. Because if you don't have experience, you can't identify the right opportunities. And once I overcame this hurdle, I started seeing a lot more opportunities. Jealousy, I get jealous of any trader that makes money or will make more money. I constantly compare what others have to what I have, and I get in the market when my model isn't there because I saw someone else get in and made money. Social media was another factor that influenced me to losing a lot of money and has influenced me to get into the market when I don't have to, when my model isn't, but I'm fortunate because I saw some other guy make money, where I saw some other person just crush it, and I got jealous and I was like, I want that. And I go on their comic section, and then people are saying, whoa, you got 100 handles, you got 50 handles, and I'm thinking, I want that. Wanting to be praised has encouraged me to live stream before I was ready. Reinforces the belief I must win, and not only that, I must be right about every turning point. It reinforces pride, and that pushes me further away from Jesus Christ. I want to be praised. Well, I wanted to be praised, and that encouraged me to live stream. I was just gaining consistency, and my objective for the objective has been I'll make $10,000 2 times, and I'll go on a live account and I'll start making money there, and I'll document it all on YouTube. And I'm gonna do live streams, right? I'm gonna live stream it all, and I only wanted that because of the praise, and I really am shooting myself in the foot, because just when I started getting consistency, I decided that's not enough. I want external approval and have other people tell me I'm doing a good job. And that is pushing me away from my father. And that is pushing me away from getting to my goals, because I've made trading so much more harder. You guys have seen the videos. I took them down because it was me being boastful. It was me being arrogant. I was I was acting in a way I don't I don't align myself to. And on top of that, it was affecting my training, because I would get so nervous, because since I was talking so much smack and I was doing so much and I was calling out so many things, I now felt like, oh, I better call every turning point in the market. If not, I'm gonna hear the other end of it. I'm gonna hear how bad I am. Another issue I have is lack of experience. Comes a lack of confidence, doubt, and fear, laziness, which leads to a lack of effort. You don't know what you're looking for, and that leads to impatience. You ignore the boring lessons because you think you know how you need to be taught. This one was a big one, watching ICT. He would talk about SMT. He would talk about COT data, and he would talk about currencies. And I would get angry, and I would be like, "This is not trading. This is not how trading works. You're right. I need an entry. I need an exit. I need this. I know how to be taught. I know what I'm looking for." And And that prevents me from actually listening to him and be like, oh, S&T, COT data, currencies, that is all going to help me to trade futures. And in the beginning, I didn't seem like that because I lacked experience. And again, a lack of experience comes doubt, fear, laziness, which leads to a lack of effort, comes a lack of confidence. Live streaming is not going to help me build that confidence, and especially if what I'm looking for is approval from others. So when it comes to live streaming, like I said, I don't know if I'm going to continue live streaming, but I will be updating you guys on what I'm doing differently and where I'm going to work on. And the last one, the most important one, not putting Christ first, blinded me. Not putting Christ first has blinded me to rely on my own understanding, and that outcome of that is all the flaws I have listed above. I came into trading with my baggage and preconceived notions. I thought that as long as I knew daily bias, when to get in and out, I would become a successful day trader. When that didn't work out, I thought it had something to do with me not feeling worthy of becoming successful. And at some point, I thought if I became a better person and if I did the self improvement, I would start to feel worthy. To my conclusion, I don't have to be worthy to become successful. My problem is I want it on my time and in my way. That's living faithless. The paradigm shift is trusting He doesn't owe me anything. If it's in His time, it will be on His timing and in His way. That's living faithfully. Putting Jesus Christ first in my life is how the flaws I've listed above have been revealed to me as flaws that have affected my training journey. I'm going to put my faith in Jesus above all and trust He will reveal to me. I'm going to put my faith in Jesus Christ and reveal to me what it is that I need to do moving forward. And I believe that when I try to do things my way, when I stop seeking for His help, for God's help, from God's help, I stumble, I fall, and I go off track, and it's hard for me to explain what that looks like, because it looks different for all of us. Everybody has a different walk with Christ, but for me, He hands me things. Literally, honestly, He just hands me success, right? He hands me good opportunities, but I rush. I want it now. I want it in my way, and I want it how I want it. And that leads me to doing things my way. And usually, when I end up doing it my way, things fail and it doesn't go according to His plan. But putting Jesus Christ first has brought me to these conclusions of lusting, pride, arrogance, ex-girlfriend trauma, self-identity issues, not wanting to admit this, not wanting to admit my flaws has prevented me from moving forward in trading. It was really hard for me to admit my flaws because they're not pretty. You know, nobody wants to talk about their issues with lust. Nobody wants to talk about how they want approval from others. Nobody wants to say they don't feel worthy. They don't think they could do something. Nobody wants to talk about how their ex-girlfriend has influenced them. Nobody wants to talk about their pride, and nobody is willing to tell others that they're jealous. I am jealous. I get jealous really easily of others, and I do want praise from others, and I lack experience and I lack confidence, and I don't walk faithfully at times. I fail at this one. But once I start walking faithfully with Christ, and I learn who He is and His character and how He's a loving God and how He loves me no matter what, it makes it so much easier for me to admit my flaws. Because even though I hate them, and even though I can't admit them to myself, I know He can reveal them to me. And I know He can love me for who I am, and He could help me change me. Because He loves me so much, He's not willing to leave me where I am. And having Him in my life has helped me to admit my flaws to myself, and not just to myself, but to you. And maybe you're struggling with these. Maybe these are your demons as well. And the way to combat them is with the truth. You gotta admit them to yourself and be like, yes, I do get jealous. I do have trauma. I do have flashbacks. I do get prideful thoughts. I do miss my ex. I do believe that I can't do this. I feel like I'm not worthy. And admitting all that baggage stops you from coming in with preconceived notions. It leaves every preconceived notion at the door and allows you to start with a blank canvas and just walk in the steps He already made. And that's from the Holy Spirit. Yep. Just walk in the steps He already made. I have trauma, I have issues that are still current that I'm working on at the moment. I'm not perfect, like I said, but I'm not perfect. I still have a lot to learn. I have pride to overcome, and that one's hard. I don't think that one's easy. I have mental issues that need to be overcome, but I have faith that as long as I stick by Jesus, that I can become something great in the stock market. And I feel and I believe I don't need other people's approval. I'll believe that I'll just be doing this for myself and His glory.